Our plan was to go around 8:30 to go see the moon. So we're still going to continue with that plan. I have about 20 or 25 minutes to talk to you. And Maghrib was going to be decided by somebody else. So as far as our discussions have been revolving around is I guess it was two folds. One was to let ourselves realize the potential that human beings have, and on the other side was the distortion part, and then of course the next step of deception and then manipulation. The potential of a human being can only be realized if we understand that this particular world that we're living is not really our home. So if the misconception comes that we are of this earth and we are to stay here, and then when we die there is nothing afterwards, then a person cannot really realize their potential. And it's something very simple to understand. Like to children, I explain that to them. If you think about, let's say from Mars a ship was to come and a man and a woman was to come out, and they were to live on this planet and have children. They were never of this earth. If the children forget that we actually came from Mars, it still doesn't finish the fact that they're not of earth. Human beings were brought on this earth. Hazrat Adam and Hawwa alayhimus salam, they came on this earth. We are from their progeny. And one day, as we know, we have to go back. Like, I don't know if you remember E.T. Call Home, E.T. Go Home. Yeah. So that one day comes and we have to go home. But when we live into this world and the way the attachments are, or what we have to do in order to survive, and that's the key point. In order to survive, the amount of things that we have to do, we just get so much stuck into the fact that we are of this and that's all there is. But it's just survival. Okay, it's not the goal or the purpose of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bringing us here. It's just survival. Just like any other animal would strive to survive, just like that human beings have been striving to survive. And to survive, they have devised different tools. The technology has gone up, the civilization has gone up, but really it's based on the fact of survival. Okay. So, conclusion, I don't know if in the last 15 days I can make a conclusion in 15 or 20 minutes, but I just thought it would be a good idea if all of us start at least thinking about our potential, not limit ourselves just to the day-to-day routine that we have. Have a higher purpose in your life. Once you realize that whatever that you and I have, as we discussed yesterday, belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that we've been created for slavery, and we are created slaves. When you realize that, then your higher purpose cannot be anything but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if you make anything other than that of the purpose of your life, it's distortion of religion, it's deception, and it's manipulation. So everybody has to think about that one higher purpose that they want to have in their life. But I'm letting you know that whatever higher purpose you're going to think of, there's only one higher purpose, and that is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because if you remember, we mentioned that He is the end, and a goal cannot be means to another goal. If it is means to another goal, it's not the end. When you pick up a book and the book continues on, it's not the end until the last page it says the end. So So whatever goal you're going to look for in your life is going to become means for another something. Then when you get there, let's say, I'll give you a short thing. We go through junior kindergarten, senior kindergarten, grade 1, so forth, elementary school, and all of that, high school, like each grade becomes means for us to pass and get into the next grade. Right? You graduate high school, then it becomes means for you to be able to go for your post-secondary education. Right? And then that becomes means that a person will get married. Right? With no education, no money, then people in the old days would say that you won't be able to get married. So to get married, get the degree, get some money, and get married. Then what get married? What then? Is that the end? No, it's not the end. And what is this as means to have babies, kids? Then do what for the kids? Send them to junior, senior kindergarten. Get them to go through high school. High school, then what? So they can go to post-secondary. For what? So they can get married. If you think about the whole cycle of life, it's just becoming means for another means to another means to another means, and it just comes back, and then what happens? You die. So where was the end? The end was death? No, it wasn't the end. You got into the grave, then you're going to go into purgatory. You got to the purgatory, where you're going to be? You're going to be, let's say, in the Day of Judgment. Day of Judgment, is that the end? No, it's not the end. We're going to go through the bridge of Sirat. Is that the end? No, that's not the end. You get to heaven, is that the end?
Never gonna be in.
So anything that is a creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is means to another means. Whores are there, is that was the end? No, that was not the end. They are means for, is the rivers in the heaven the end? No, they are means for, for your pleasure. So even heaven cannot be by definition the end, goal, purpose. The only thing that can be the end or purpose is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So in our lives, if we don't have Him as our end or purpose, while everything else revolves around it, then we're just going to get stuck in the cycle of life, and we will never realize what our potential is. And then one day, as a Malakul Maut will come and say, let's go, and be like, I haven't done anything yet. I still want to stay more with my wife and my kids, and I still haven't finished this house renovations. I still haven't done, my sons haven't got married yet. I still want to see my grandchildren. Where is the person going to feel that, okay, they have reached the end? And you can take my words if you want, or you can experience life. They will never be, yes?
They will never be satisfied.
Exactly.
Because they're focusing on worldly accomplishments instead of focusing on
That's right. And we are made this way that we will never get satisfied anything other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Like, you have, how would I say, let's say you have a glass of water. So it has its capacity, right? And you can fill it with anything you want. But once it's reached its capacity, you can't put anything more. True or not? A human capacity is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that one is there, that the glass gets filled. If you put anything else, the glass is always going to be empty. You can go to Mars, you can colonize Mars, you can go to every other planet in the universe, you can have trillions of dollars, you can do whatever you want. Try to fill that glass of contentment, satisfaction, bliss, peace of mind. Nothing will fill that. Ala bi dhikrillahi tatma'innul qulub. Be aware, there is no exception. Do not think anything else would do that. The only way the hearts will find peace, that is in the remembrance of Allah. So, don't think about, okay, if I end up getting a better job, if I end up getting more money, if my house gets bigger, my car gets better, I buy I don't know, whatever, like, that is going to be where I'm going to get happy. No, you'll get the Tesla, you'll get your Lamborghini. 1 week you'll drive and it's like, you know what, let's go for a Bugatti now. You buy a Bugatti, you're driving in it, you know what, this Bugatti is like, it's nice and everything, but let's see, what else do they have? Well, you know what, they don't have any faster cars, so let's buy a jet plane. You get that jet plane, it's like, you know what, there's faster jet, other planes faster than that, let's go get that. But the person will never get satisfied. If you could get satisfied with all of these different means, then the people who have, there are 80 individuals who own half of the money of the whole world. 3.5 billion people do not have that much money as 80 people today in the world have. These 8 individuals should have been the most satisfied. They should have been the most content. But you find them to be not content and utilizing their power and influence to create havoc in the rest of the world. So you see, humanity has been, kind of given the wrong path for their satisfaction and for their fulfillment. Even if you take the path of heaven and you say that my end goal is to achieve heaven or to stay away from hell, that too is going to distort your mind. Because in order to get to heaven, guess what people did? They do, but they didn't go through that transformation because they never wanted Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So they were just stuck in that chocolate that a child wants. And a person came and deceived them, distorted, said Imam Hussain Mazallah actually stood against the government, so therefore he is a rebel, and for his blood to be shed is allowed by Islam. For 50,000 dirham upfront and 50,000 later on, for 100,000 dirham, the guy gave a fatwa, a religious ruling on justifying the killing of Imam Hussain. And majority of the people that came to fight against Imam Hussain came not just for wealth, gold, silver and governments. They came to actually gain heaven. They came to cut the head of Imam Hussain so that they can follow their religion and get to heaven. I mean, if you could ever distort religion to that point and deceive people and manipulate people, that event of Karbala is enough of a lesson for all, the end of time for all of humanity. Even heaven cannot be our goal. The only goal it can be is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you have that as your goal, you end up in heaven, alhamdulillah. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, automatic response of that when you got Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not just that you have to wait for heaven, you will be in heaven. Living in this world. Heaven to you is just that close, achievable. It's just a shift of the mind. Imam Ali would have to wait, does he have to wait for Qabr and Barzakh and Day of Judgment? Imam Ali is in heaven. He was in heaven when he walked among us. Rasulullah was in heaven as he walked among us. Hazrat Salman Farsi was in heaven. A person who was an unbeliever, who became a believer, who became a Shia, who became to that point where the Holy Prophet said, Minna Ahlul Bayt. Salman is from us, Ahlul Bayt. Heaven is waiting for him. Salman al-Farsi was a person, a being of heaven walking on this earth. The actual potential of human being is that, which nobody else can. No other creation of Allah. So my brothers and my sisters, you need to realize that for your life to be meaningful, you need to have a higher purpose, and you go find that higher purpose. But I'm telling you, whatever you're going to find is going to become means to something else. Even Quran is means, namaz is means. This fasting you did was means. None of it was your end. And the last few days that we've been trying to make everybody realize that you're much higher than what you have sold yourself to. And then don't do that. We don't have the time now. Otherwise, I would go continue, but the special doors of the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are about to close, and once they're closed, they will not open till next year. So if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not forgive us till now, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive us. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not accept of our worships, of our fasts, then we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept our worships and our fasts. If this month is going to be the last month of my Ramadan of our lives, then we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that there are not too many sinners like I am. That in your whole creation there's not that many sinners as I am. So when you have a few sinners like me, how can it be so difficult for you to forgive? And if you won't forgive a person like me, then how is your godliness going to be proved? If you forgive the good, anyone can do that. But you are the Almighty, the merciful, the forgiving. If you do not forgive, then whose door are we going to go and knock on? If you did not forgive us in this month, then when will you forgive us? What are you waiting for? Nothing will go out of your mercy. Nothing would go out of your greatness, my Lord. These slaves of yours, they fasted, they were your guests for 30 days. Be a good host and forgive our sins. Accept our worships. Let us realize the potential that you have given unto us. Let us utilize it and develop it. We ask your protection against those individuals who distort your religion, who deceive and manipulate. Give them the lowest part of the hellfire. Get them into that punishment. Protect us from them. And make the coming of that Imam who's going to show us the true potential of humanity, who's going to bring about the best of humanity out, who's going to give the social structure, the social system that is going to bring fairness and justice around the world. Let us become his friends and followers. Let us live a life that he will be proud of, and that when we see him, that we're not going to be ashamed in front of him. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Al-Asr. إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد صلوات. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم إني أسألك وأتوجه إليك بنبيك النبي الرحمن محمد صلى الله عليه وآله يا أبا القاسم يا رسول الله يا إمام الرحمة يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا أبا الحسن يا أمير المؤمنين يا علي بن أبي طالب يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا فاطمة الزهراء يا بنت محمد يا قرة عين الرسول يا سيدتنا ومولاتنا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيهة عند الله اشفعي لنا عند الله يا أبا محمد يا حسن بن علي أيها المجتبى يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا أبا عبد الله يا حسين بن علي أيها الشهيد يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا أبا الحسن يا علي بن الحسين يا زين العابدين يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا أبا جعفر يا محمد بن علي أيها الباقر يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا أبا عبد الله يا جعفر بن محمد أيها الصادق يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا أبا الحسن يا موسى بن جعفر أيها الكاظم يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا أبا الحسن يا علي بن موسى أيها الرضا يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا أبا جعفر يا محمد بن علي أيها التقي الجواد يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا أبا الحسن يا علي بن محمد أيها الهادي النقي يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا أبا محمد يا حسن بن علي أيها الزكي العسكري يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا يا وسي الحسن والخلف الحجة أيها القائم المنتظر المهدي يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله. Ask your hajat. يا سادتي وموالي إني توجهت بكم أئمتي وعدتي ليوم فقري وحاجتي إلى الله وتوسلت بكم إلى الله واستشفعت بكم إلى الله فاشفعوا لي عند الله واستنقذوني من ذنوبي عند الله فإنكم وسيلتي إلى الله وبحبكم وبقربكم أرجو نجاة من الله فكونوا عند الله رجائي يا سادتي يا أولياء الله صلى الله عليهم أجمعين ولعن الله أعداء الله ظالميهم من الأولين والآخرين آمين رب العالمين. سلام. Everybody recite together. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم كن لوليك